Now let us go for Carnot cycle. See, this Carnot cycle is the ideal cycle and will have the maximum efficiency. And remember that this efficiency will be maximum but not 100%. Try to remember this. This efficiency will not be 100% here. Now, when we come across this Carnot cycle, initially we need to consider a frictionless piston cylinder arrangement like this. And air is present inside this as the working substance, and this is a closed system. Now, initially what we need to do is we need to bring a hot body or the hot thermal reservoir, let us say it as H, and this is an infinite thermal reservoir. So infinite thermal reservoir means this thermal reservoir will have the same temperature even though heat is transferred to the working substance here. So the temperature of this thermal reservoir will always remain the same. So let us consider that temperature as T1 here. Now when heat is added from this thermal reservoir, which is brought near the piston cylinder arrangement, at constant temperature, this gas will try to expand and push this piston outwards. So as a result of that, here if we consider the PV diagram, initially there will be isothermal expansion from process 1 to 2. So isothermal expansion from process 1 to 2. So if we represent this same on the TS diagram, we will be getting a horizontal line like this from 1 to 2. Then now we need to remove this infinite thermal reservoir and we need to place an insulation here. We need to place an insulation here such that without any heat loss to the surroundings, this gas further expands isentropically. So that means process 2 to 3 will be isentropic expansion that is taking place. Now this 2 to 3 is represented as a vertical line in the TS diagram. So 2 to 3 is represented as a vertical line in the TS diagram. Then we need to consider a cold object which is brought near this piston cylinder arrangement by removing this insulation portion. So the hot body is removed, hot thermal reservoir is removed during isentropic expansion. Then when we are rejecting heat, we need to bring a cold surface which is having a temperature T2. This is also an infinite thermal reservoir, and as a result of that, there will be heat rejection from this piston cylinder arrangement to this cold object isothermally at temperature T2. So that means heat rejection isothermally happens like this from 3 to 4, and that is represented in the TS diagram by a horizontal line. Whereas in the PV diagram, heat rejection from 3 to 4 is taken like this. Then again we need to remove this cold object and bring an insulation portion here such that this air gets compressed from 4 to 1 isentropically because we have bought an insulation portion by removing the cold thermal reservoir. So therefore 4 to 1 we are going to get like this. Now in the TS diagram, this 4 to 1 process is represented by a vertical line like this. Now process here 2 to 3 and 4 to 1, these two are obeying PV power gamma equal to constant, whereas process 1 to 2 and process 3 to 4, these are isothermal processes. So when we have considered isentropic expansion and compression here, there will be no heat transfer. So heat transfer will be zero during this process. So during this isothermal expansion, heat is added here in order to have this isothermal expansion. So in process 1 to 2, we will have heat addition or heat supplied. So heat addition or heat supplied will be equal to, as the process is isothermal process, we need to use this formula MRT1 ln the volume ratio, which is V2 by V1. So volume ratio is V2 by V1 here. Now this V2 by V1, we call it as the expansion ratio, because volume at the end of expansion is V2 and volume at the beginning of expansion is V1. Then we can write this as MRT1 ln RE, the expansion ratio. Then during process 3 to 4, heat rejection is taking place. So heat rejection is taking place to the cold body at a temperature T2. So this highest temperature we have considered it as T1 and the lowest temperature is T2 here. So this is T1 and this is T2. So during process 3 to 4 at temperature T2, heat rejection is taking place to the cold object. So therefore we are writing MRT2 ln. So process 3 to 4 is compression here. Now we need to write V3 by V4 as the compression ratio. So V3 by V4 is the compression ratio here. Now this is MRT2 ln RC. See, in order to complete the cycle properly, the expansion ratio and the compression ratio should be same and they should be considered it to be R. So to have complete cycle, both these ratios should be same. That's why we can write this simply as R, the ratio. Now we need to find thermal efficiency. Thermal efficiency is work done by heat supply, or we can write this as heat supplied minus heat rejected by heat supplied. Now from this, the thermal efficiency will be equal to 1 minus heat rejected by heat supplied. So 1 minus heat rejected is MRT2 ln R by heat supplied is MRT1 ln R. Now these two will get cancelled, MR gets cancelled. Now the thermal efficiency is 1 minus T2 by T1, or you can write this thermal efficiency as T1 minus T2 by T1. So this is the formula that we have used when we have talked about Carnot efficiency in second law of thermodynamics. So this sometimes can also be written, this thermal efficiency here, as we are using air as the working substance, we call this as the air standard efficiency, and we can write it as higher temperature minus lower temperature by higher temperature. So this is the formula that we can consider here. So this efficiency is called the Carnot efficiency.